Welcome to the Chronicles of Genesi, Curse of the Green Sea. We are a Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition podcast about 6 adventurers who are trying to prevent the Realm Eater Amira from destroying the world. My name is Morgan Mendez. I play Dara Metalit, the Druid Cleric, and my fun fact of the week is that Dara cannot sing. They've tried to learn, but everything just comes out wrong. The sounds just don't make sense to
Does
them.
it sound like dial-up?
Oh
That's a
my.
challenge, and STL might be up for that one.
I don't know, but we could find out in the future.
Hi, I'm Chase Ebling, and I play STL the Taurus, a human sorcerer. Even though STL is technically a sorcerer, when he first obtained his powers, he couldn't control them, so he actually had to learn the magic through normal means. Hence why he has a spell book that he uses occasionally.
That's really cool.
Hello again, guys. I'm Avery Chandler, and I play as Quill Bernhardt, the Garuda monk. My fun fact for this week is that, Quill has these really cool Aladon vambraces that he uses to heal himself in battle. And basically, the way they work is he just punches things, as monks do, and on the third hit, it begins to heal him as the runes absorb some of the damage. So, gives him a way to kind of stay up in combat for a little bit longer.
Wait, have you used them before? I can't remember.
Oh yeah, a few times. It used to be that they were 8 charges instead of 3, so I get to use them a lot more now.
Mm-hmm.
Since they got upgraded
Legacy.
at level 10. Yeah, I love Legacy weapons. It's the coolest thing ever.
Hello, my name is Jackson Childs, and I play Zhao Jinhai, an ancestral guardian barbarian. This week's fun fact for Jin is that he cannot handle spicy food, like at all. He it's something with his stomach, man. It's just he's sensitive about most things, but spicy food especially.
The culinary arts of northern Venubia disagree with him.
Hello, everybody. My name is Coleman, and I play Orofarne, the Mizoku fighter. My fact today is that back when he was a member of his guild, the Immortal Sons, he actually had an enchanted forge in his room in his ship, the Claymore. The forge was enchanted with a protective barrier so that it would not light the ship on fire.
That's pretty sick.
It was. He misses it.
And I am Addison Bell, and I play Clutian Trailbreaker, the resident tracker, bug boy ranger of the group. And fun fact about Clutian today is that once he tried to befriend a phase beast before he came to Genesi while he's still in the Forgotten Realms, he had saved it from a warped carnival thing. And so he thought that it would kind of be his companion until it kind of beat him up pretty bad. And then he didn't try to do that ever again. So he was very excited when he got Sarkis because before that, he wasn't really great with wildlife.
The friend who won't try to eat him.
That's right.
Yet.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Marshall Mendez, the dungeon master of this group of great people. Love them all. My fun fact this week is actually a fun fact. The lavender-skinned, golden-eyed Mazoku that that Jinhai and Clutian met last episode is named Sharlaya, and Sharlaya had a lot to say about Venubia and survival in the Baroka Muda that we may get to one day, or we may not. We'll see.
Maybe we'll find her in a certain tavern.
Sharlaya.
Sharlaya. Okay.
You can't trust her to tell the truth because she's a Sharlaya.
Oh my goodness.
Last time on Chronicles of Genesi, Curse of the Green Sea, the Emerald Order basically went on a shopping trip, and this is part 2 of that shopping trip. preparation for travels ahead. So, jumping straight into it, we have so far, Klushin and Jinhai have obtained a map of Venubia and a map of the tribal nomadic routes that the local populations tend to move through in Venubia. They had a hit of another shop called the Raiment, and we're headed that way now, I believe. And we're going to pick up with SDL, Dara, Orofarne, and Quill as they are stepping off of the boat back onto Walaka proper.
Do we see the similar rebuilt buildings that you had described prior?
You do. Most of the city over here is looks like it's been torn asunder and then rebuilt very nicely. A lot of time, money, and craftsmanship went into the restructuring of the dockside and harborside districts. And you can see quite a few people leaving the various warehouses and areas of the docks to go home for the day.
Does the damage and the scale of it ring bells to STL of what happened to Nerosa the last time he was here?
STL does remember in his own world, being from an alternate timeline kind of thing. You do remember from your own world the story of what happened to Walaka after you had left the Lord Keeper's Grove the first time, where Gosi had arrived and pretty much swept out this whole section of the city as he attacked, sinking most of the ships carrying the refugees and causing a lot of chaos. It's a very, very bad thing that you remember.
I forget what your passive perception is, Orofarne, but you probably would catch that.
What specifically?
Catch that,
was I
like,
catching?
far away look in his
The
eye.
far away look, like I'm seeing this, and I'm like, and the wheels turn, like, oh, fuck, that's right.
It's just base. 10 is his passive perception, and so
Oh,
he's just looking off at the nice
Gavik.
architecture. Yeah,
Why did I was thinking of Gavik. Sorry, my bad.
it ain't 23 anymore. Yeah, it's 10.
That's right. Yeah.
My bad. Well, I suppose we have a little bit of time before we get to or need to get to the tavern. I kind of look at my clothes. Well, I can't speak for you all, but these are getting a little tattered. I could use some mending or otherwise.
Respect that. We should probably
Sure.
go find something as quick as possible then.
And maybe we'll run into the others, who knows. What say you, Quill? Being awful quiet since we got off the docks.
Oh, it's just, I don't want to offend anyone. That would be I don't want to say anything that, might get on anybody's nerves or otherwise be confrontational. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. SDO.
Thank God the mouse folk is gone. Otherwise, things could have gone real south.
What's a mouse folk?
Can't.
They're
Oh
not
my
with us,
God.
are they?
No,
No.
we're not.
No.
I didn't think that they were, and I was like, wait a second. Okay. But no. I jest. Everything is okay. Why don't we just try to meet up with them? I remember before we had left to get on the water, we had spoken about getting some sort of extra dimensional storage. Would that be something that interests all of you? It's probably high time that we get something like that, being as far along as we are together.
Probably would be smart. And personally, I know we have access to Chester, but I don't trust it.
Me neither. That's wise. I think it's wise.
It is very unwise, says the narrator.
This is the narrator.
All right.
So So, I guess we first try to find a magic shop of some sort to see if we could procure a enchanted bag of sorts.
Yes.
Well, what do you think? You've been here before. Do you happen to know any names of any like just general magic item shop? Maybe we could find
Well,
something like that there.
when I was here before, I was not nearly as well off as we are now with the group I was with. So even the idea of going to a magic shop was a dream. I actually tried to make my own magic wand. It didn't end well at all. I kind of went brain dead for a little while.
I was gonna ask if that's how you wound up here in this universe, but then I realized all the stuff with the lore keeper, that whole story you had. So
It was close to the same time, but that would have been a funnier story for sure.
but yes, DM, maybe we should just ask without being too awkward. Maybe we should just ask around and see.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look for somebody who looks like they are out doing their general shopping.
Sure. Make a perception check.
Perception
Actually,
check.
yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Excuse me, woman carrying groceries. Do you know where your magic shop is?
I'm gonna use my inspiration because that was garbage. Much better. 23.
23. Sure. You spot a human male who's kind of carrying quite a few bags. Like just definitely he is a servant or a husband, one of the two. And in front of him is a kind of homely elven woman, a little on the short side, kind of plump, unusual, I guess, from what you've seen of a lot of elves. Seems very wealthy. She's got pearls on her neck. She's got all kinds of gold bangles on. And she's kind of like directing him along with a wave of her hand. She's definitely out shopping. Like that is her whole goal today. And some of the things he's carrying look a bit magical.
Okay.
Like they look a little weird, little objects that typically you would find in places that practice alchemy and transmutation and things like that.
Okay. Pardon me. Can I borrow a bit of your time?
Who are you speaking with? The female
The
or
woman.
male?
The woman.
Okay. She turns to you and she says, "Yes. How can I help you?"
My friends and I are new to town, so to speak, and we're seeking some supplies before we head off on the next leg of our journey. Would you, and forgive me if I'm being rude, would you know of any magic shop that procures various items, or maybe I kind of pull on like a broken strap on my leather jerkin, or somewhere that I could get my armor repaired or replaced?
Kind of thinks for a moment, and she looks over at the human male, and she waves him forward, and he kind of like runs up quickly, and he's kind of like huffing and puffing, holding everything, and she's like, "Well, there's always the fine shop that I like to frequent, known as Lotions and Potions. It's somewhat of a magical shop. It's got all kinds of alchemical reagents. I'm something of an alchemist myself. And in terms of magical items, I suppose runes and relics would be a good place to start. For your clothing, your clothing, that is a problem itself.
They've seen better days for sure.
The extravagant raiment on 2nd Street is a fine place. I think that you could afford. No offense.
The amulet is in full view. It's not tucked away. Just for a DM's note.
He went.
She
Let me
notices.
just fucking roll.
She definitely notices it, and you see this like coy smile kind of creeping up her lips, and she says, "Perhaps harsh judgments are unbecoming of me."
My finger necklace is also in full view, except I'm standing up rather proud and strong with it as well. So
She sees it too. That's so she looks at you and says that. She's like, "Unbecoming of me." And she like draws out the last syllable as she kind of makes a grimace and looks at Orofarne. She's like, "Unbecoming of me." No, I think the extravagant raiment would be just fine for you.
Well, I appreciate your time nonetheless. Thank you.
Quite. Well, good luck. Kind of puffs and starts moving away.
toodaloo.
The human just kind of like huffing and trying to run forward and catch up to her again.
Well, she was pungent.
Oh,
She reeked of expensively
Pompous.
bad perfume. Yeah.
that she did.
I don't know. I don't really require air. I didn't know if she smelt, but that's good to know.
I'm using prestidigitation to kind of get the wafts of it away.
I love it.
STL, I don't think she liked my necklace.
I think it would take a special person to get on her good list.
No offense. I think it would take a special person to like your necklace, but that's just. But not hopefully.
Fucking
You understand.
shots tonight.
It's got sentimental
It's
value.
fingers!
Everybody hates Orofarne now.
Fingers!
No, we don't
Oh,
hate you.
Janet.
It's just, it's
Oh,
gosh,
no,
why is
I'm
everybody
fucking
picking on
hazing.
Orofarne?
Has
We're trying to
Orofarne
bring out-
explained the necklace? I can't remember.
I don't think so.
Okay. I
You
was
have like next thing you know, Orofarne, tonight you're gonna wake up and your clothes are gonna be gone and you're gonna be in an ice bath and they're just gonna be around you in hooded robes, like, if you want to be part of the order.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
We're gonna haze him.
I'm gonna get a pillowcase.
Oh, you're gonna make it like you wake up and one of your kidneys is missing.
Yeah.
Oh god.
It's okay. We're all
Fucking
gonna
Charlie
have
the
like
Unicorn.
a pillowcase full of oranges and just beat him
That's
with
the
it.
way. Yeah, that's the
mangoes.
way. No
Orange.
bruises.
Yeah, or Funny's just gonna meet up with Jinhai inclusion, and we're
Orange
like,
Farney.
"What's up, fucker?" Yeah.
Oh, no.
He's
not
orange tiefling now.
Farney.
Yeah.
Be a black and blue one. Oh my
let's,
god.
I'm gonna try to find the runes and relics first.
Sure. I'll say that she gave you directions as well. Obviously. I just don't want to
Yeah.
solidify places that don't exist on my map. Mostly because I haven't mapped out
and
Wallach.
as we're walking to Quill, you know the raiment sounds very familiar. May have asked about that in the past. Oh well.
Maybe we did. We did just spend a whole day of our vacation on a secluded beach and then went to different places and had visions and then changed the entire foundation of a religion of another civilization as a whole.
Yeah, don't
It's
remind me.
okay if we forgot some things.
Yeah, to sum it up. I think did you mean in a past life or like currently? SCL.
I was speaking before I met you all, but
That's what I
Who
that's what I
knows?
thought. But Quill's right. There's a lot.
it's been a lot. Let's keep walking.
Hey, maybe the real vacation can be in Venubia. Hey?
Maybe
Maybe
the real vacation was the friends we
you
made
made.
along the way.
God damn it!
Oh my god.
I was right there with you. I knew.
There it is. Or
Okay.
Farney. Quickly. Or Farney. You've been to Venubia before, correct?
Nope.
Not never on your journey.
Oh, I'm on my way there now.
Well then, it's all gonna be new to us.
Right. Yes. I've never been. I'm excited for it.
Nudas, that is today, Morgan. You're right. It is
What?
the 18th of Calyx, Nudas. She said it's all Nudas.
That's the day.
Oh,
Nudas.
It was a
The
pun.
day it is.
It was a day of the
Yeah.
week pun.
Oh,
It was beautiful.
yes. I did know that.
Uh-huh.
I did
Anyway,
not.
Inside
making your
joke.
way to the
Check again.
runes and relics. Fairly easy, straightforward pathways. You're going down the more luxurious side of the market district, passing by shops that are very fancy, very stupidly extravagant for no reason, kind of fancy. And kind of like tucked toward the end where the fanciness starts to taper off back to the more common era. You do spot runes and relics, a small-ish kind of magic shop, almost like tucked into the side of a building like a bookstore could be. It's got large windows with iron that kind of separates the panes and looks okay. it's
Please tell me there's a door time as we walk in.
no. As the door opens, you can see standing behind the counter a tall, very tall, brown furred creature with like long, dark brown, blackish almost horns that kind of curl up and around. A large bull-like nose, large face, humanoid-ish hands. It's a minotaur.
Kind of creature is this? Thank you for clarifying.
Morgan, you look like a Polaroid right now. Random.
What does that even mean?
Just looks like you've got a sepia filter.
Oh, what? Oh, it's out of focus. Hang on. I've got to put my face in front of it and then it'll read it again. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
No, it's did it again. I don't know how to fix this.
Tech problems, everybody! Yay!
Yay.
Okay,
Just
we're
quick
back.
scan around the room. Is it well stocked, well maintained, upkept?
You can see there's quite a bit of stuff. Not all of it looks great. From your background of magic, you can make an Arcana check to make a more deeper insight into that.
Sure.
Not all of it looks great, but it's definitely magical items all around you.
19.
19. There are a few gems in here, quite literally, but also metaphorically with the items. There are a few gems that really stick out to you. One of them being a kind of large hammer with a grizzled elderly man's face kind of carved into it. That immediately pricks your interest in terms of like, this is a rare, incredibly rare item. And then it's like right next to, you know, a non-magical hammer. So
Nice
it's
one.
almost like a magical
Okay.
pawn shop.
Fair enough. I like it. So do we just want to focus on getting a storage device of some sort, or do we want to see if they have other things that could help?
I will look for a diamond if he's got one. STL, I think that it would be. I know that's kind of far fetched to find one maybe in this kind of shop, but if I could find another diamond, could you workshop it for me?
Well, we may have better chances going over to the local jewelers guild to find something like that.
You're right. I should probably wait then. You're the jeweler, you know best.
We can do that after this.
Of course, thank you.
I, for one, would like to see at least what the gentleman has to sell. Just take a look at the best stock, what he's pushing out to sell. I mean, obviously we don't have to get any of it, but you know, you find different stuff all over the world. I'd like to see what he's got.
Sure. What's like 4 items that you think you would really be into, or Farney, that would benefit you?
Just right now, off the top of my head.
Yeah.
As we're walking into the store.
Or items. I don't know. Fuck, I wasn't expecting this kind of question. I don't know. I've got a weapon. Some magic armor would be neat. Got a magic ring. Got a magic pipe. Got a magic wand. I don't know. Some magic armor, I guess. That's where I'm at. But I don't really have the coinage for it at the moment.
You need some boots for your Stratus Falcon. Mine hook to my feet. They come out. They build into it. It keeps me sturdy. Unfortunately, I fall with it. But while flying, I feel more secure. Maybe something would do you good. Some sturdy boots.
I have hooves.
That's what I'm saying. Shoes. Hooves that are custom to your hooves. To fit. That are magical. Something to give you a bit of a boost.
Boost for my hooves. Yes. Maybe. I'm not sure. I never had an issue flying so far, but if I might, maybe we'll see. Yeah.
Morgan, outside character, has no idea how to look up shit in D&D or items or run the equipment page. Also, Morgan in D&D, you need some boots. Some cool boots. I don't know what they are, but we're gonna find them. Other characters
For my hooves.
Okay.
Boots for my hooves. Boots for my hooves.
Walk up to the shopkeep.
Looks at him. Hello.
Afternoon.
Welcome to Runes and Relics. What can I do you for?
Quite a shop you got here. Anything you'd recommend?
He kind of like looks around the room, just lets his eyes kind of rests on all of you, glances at some of the magical items in some of the different aisles. He's got like a few things on display as well. He like looks you over up and down once more, and he says, "You look like adventurers. Potions of healing are always important to the likes of you. Got magical scrolls," and he kind of like holds his hand to the left, and you can see just like a whole, almost like a postal box system, just filled with rolled up scrolls and like little labels on them.
Someone's saying magic scrolls.
Plenty of scrolls, yes. I kind of like steps aside a little bit. And you can see he has a scroll of alarm, armor of Agathis, banishing smite, cause fear, detect poison and disease, disguise self, earthquake, firebolt, fog cloud, inflict wounds, mass cure wounds, Rary's telepathic bond, and speak with animals.
A great selection you've got there. Doesn't really pique my interest, but
Can you hear me?
some tough
I
shit.
can now.
Oh, my microphone like fell and it like restarted itself 3 times. Okay, carry on.
He looks at Farne and says, "Yeah, it's not for everybody, but I get new spell scrolls in quite often, so stock rotates once or twice a top usually."
Very nice. What do you have for?
We're actually going to. Oh, sorry.
You're chill. What do you have for weapons, armor, little piddle bobs? Stuff that's not in the rolled up paper section.
Well, in terms of weapons, again he turns a little bit, and you can see on one of the sides of the shop there is this whole like Savannah-esque display that says the Bostonesi Wildlands, and it's got like blowguns and scale mail and a few hand axes that look very like they're made of like obsidian almost, that are chipped. A couple of mauls that are on like these long wooden rods that are, the mauls themselves are made of like heavy stone with bits of obsidian chipped inside of it. And he says, "Looking at you and your certain proclivities, might I recommend the Bostonesi exhibit over here? It was part of a museum shipment that they no longer needed, and so now I sell it."
I'll go take a look at that.
It's kind of like the wild elves. They were known to shape obsidian into their weapons and armor and increase the quality. And quite a bit, actually.
Question. Do you have any books that would benefit us on maybe the wildlife and beasts that roam Venubia? Just something maybe
Manubia,
cheerful.
that's quite a ways away. Unfortunately, I don't think I've got anything quite like that. You can try one of the various bookstores in town. There's also a strange little shop down the way. A little map maker, goblin fellow who's losing his mind. And second thought, maybe don't visit him.
Oh, well, thank you.
Sorry for being redundant, Marshall, but like the last 3 or 4 scrolls you listed off, I didn't hear.
Mass cure wounds, Rary's telepathic bond, and speak with animals.
Telepathic bond is speaking. Okay.
It says, is there anything in particular that you would like? Anything that really is on your mind?
Like they said, we're traveling to Venubia, and we're wanting to make sure we're prepared. Our real target is some type of extra dimensional storage for foodstuffs or for camping supplies.
No, I see. Well, it's kind of like pulls out a little book, and he's going through and cross-examining purchases versus things that have come in. He says, well, I actually have a bag of holding, and it looks like a bag of colding in the back somewhere as well.
I've not heard of a bag of colding before.
Think of it like a preservative box, but interdimensional, kind of like a bag of holding. It keeps your food cold. It keeps it fresh, for the most part.
Well, Quill, that would be right up our alley, don't you think?
Exactly what we're looking for.
Sorry if I'm asking too many questions, but about how much space does it have?
How much space? Let's see. He kind of like goes around the back and he starts rooting around. He's like, just give me 1 second while I find it, and I'll be able to let you know momentarily.
Well, you check your Google documents.
You see him kind of pulling away a few items and comes back with essentially kind of the same style as a bag of holding, but this is more like a ingredients pouch almost. It can fit on the hip, fit around the saddle of a horse very easily, very comfortably on a person as well. Slides some leather straps through it, wear it like a satchel. Its design is kind of dark leather with blue runic symbols that kind of weave around the fabric, and you can see what appears to be ice forming around the edges where the flap meets the leather. And he says, it can hold quite a bit, similar to a regular bag of holding, except it's just cold. So roughly 500 pounds.
And how much would that set us back?
He kind of sniffs like really loudly. Well, if I'm doing my numbers correctly here, could let it go for. It's a bit used at this point. It's not broken in any way, but it's not pristine. I'd let her go for 2,250 gold.
I just look at the rest of the group and it's like, that's a bit rich for my blood. I don't have that much.
That's what we spent for the mercenaries at Slaver Roost, or thereabout.
2,000, I think, was spent on them to help the Roost. And I do say this out loud.
What about
spent 2,000 on 50 men for a month?
We just need to be like Aang from Avatar and say, how about 2 copper pieces?
Yep. What about a bargain? Maybe we could come to some terms, like a promise or a loan.
Kind of narrows his eyes a bit and says, promissory notes and loans don't mean a whole lot to me when you say you're traveling to Venubia very soon. It means I'm going to be seeing a hell of a lot less of you as soon as you walk out that door.
That wouldn't be fair to him.
How much you got between the lot of you?
Well, our other party members are separate from us, so we have a couple of others with us. So I don't know what exactly is on them.
So we should huddle up, just get together and see what we got, and then give him a sum.
Sure.
How late are you going to be open this afternoon?
Oh, I'll be closing up shop in about an hour.
About an hour.
I also deal in bargains, so if any of you fine people have any old magical items you'd like to rid yourself of that could knock the price down pretty decently, perhaps.
I'm just gonna, because we have traveled and we didn't tell Clutian that, it took less time. I'm just gonna touch the earring and cold send out a thing, seeing if he can hear me.
Let me
I
do
think
some quick math.
I'd say it's only 500 feet, so it's probably not gonna work, but I'm gonna try anyway.
Hang on. Definitely not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he still does it.
Does it come in like static, like?
Yeah, we'll say
Right.
we'll say that Clutian, you do pick up like just the faintest hint of SDL's voice and just like static, like breaking it up.
Takes off his earring, he pounds it in his hand, he's like, ding ding's not working. He puts it back on.
Strangely, it works. Wow.
Oh
No.
my!
Wow.
Well, did you anything?
Well, I mean, it broadcasts the message to everybody with the earrings, so you would have heard me say it in nothing from Clutian, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, we should probably go find them. Come back.
I will say that even I don't even have my fair share if we were to split 2,000 between us all evenly. I'm not that rich of a man as it stands, so I don't know about that.
All right, Orifani. We understand. We have debts.
He says, bag of colding, I have already marked off 33% of the cost, being that it is slightly used. Look, if you meet up with your friend or whatever, just feel free to swing back around here later this evening. Tell you what, I'll stick around for an extra hour or two. Potential to have a customer is always good.
We don't want to impose too much, so don't lose yourself.
You know, it's Calyx. It's the beginning of year still, technically. I should probably do inventory anyways.
Fair enough.
No harm to me.
So we'll be off then.
I guess, and I'm just like every 30 feet. Clutian, can you hear me? Clutian, can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Thank you.
Eventually, it works. As you're walking, I assume, just down the road a bit more.
Yeah, because we wouldn't know where they'd be going, so I just would be heading back to the heart of the shopping area.
Yep, and that'll do it. The extravagant raiment is not far from the shopping center, so it's about less than a block. So, at some point, Clutian, you hear STL over your earring. What do you say?
Hello,
Unless you
SDL.
said it and I missed it.
Things went a little faster for us at the island. Where are you guys at?
We're at the Rainment. Right? Jin, that was the name of this place, right?
Who are you talking to?
Just that's the name of the place, right?
It's a clothing store. Raymond.
Right. Yeah, yes, SDL. We're at the Raymond.
Ray-Bans.
Yeah, we're buying Ray-Bans. Jin said he wants Ray-Bans.
Well, don't spend all your money quite yet. We'll see you in a minute.
Oh my.
And we head over.
You navigate to where the plump old elven woman told you the extravagant raiment was, and sure enough, you see Jinhai and Clushin.
Did Jinhai find Ray-Bans?
Unfortunately, no, but he did find some pretty cool, like, masquerade glasses.
Oh shit.
So as you guys come in, I suppose I'll be explaining the earring to Jinhai. Be like, yeah, so you just like kind of touch it and you like talk and it communicates with all of us that have one on in a 500-foot. See, oh, here they are. Here's right here, SDL and the whole gang. Look at that.
Actually, really cool.
Walking into the extravagant raiment is a strange sight. By all definition, this is a costume shop. There's all kinds of random outfits, from pirate fantasy outfits to what looks like desert garb to basilisk kind of clothing with like a hood and everything, almost like a onesie. Which those of you who are familiar with the traditions of the Green Sea know is part of the Cryptol, the costume carnival. So yeah, there's a lot of different costumes all around the area that are very extravagant and very well made. But there's also like clothing. Like it's kind of a double thing.
I quickly let Clushin into the loop about the bag of holding the 2,300 gold cost, I believe is what you said. And the potential for haggling and or bartering.
That's a lot for a bag.
Yeah. And then everything that we put in it would be cold.
Which means we could get fruits or otherwise and not just salted meats.
But that also means you can't put other certain things in there as well, such as important liquids or anything.
That hasn't slowed us down yet. I mean, yes, we wouldn't be able to put a keg of water in there.
I mean, you could. It just
maybe we could put a keg of ice in there and then let it melt in the desert.
Oh, Gavik probably would like to store this bourbon in it.
Oh, for sure. Didn't he have a never-ending flask?
No, I just bought bottles everywhere we went.
I thought
I think he just frequently bought cheap bourbon everywhere.
Yeah, that's exactly what he did.
So yeah, I mean, 2,300 gold is pretty steep. I know I can't afford that.
I can't.
I don't even think that's that important. 2,300. I mean, I don't know how heavily you guys weigh eating luxuriously, but for me, I'm okay with not. Not for that price.
Really up to them, because I don't really have a say on the food.
All right, you don't require sustenance.
That's right. So really it depends on how the group wants to do it. If you feel like it's going to be a better survival tactic, we can go for it. Or I can do the whole entangle and grow fruit again. I mean, that was a wonderful thing I learned. Great tips from the island. In case we're in trouble, all I need is a small plant and I could make food grow again if we're ever in need. If we're in a pinch. And Orfarne's right. I mean, do we really have the gold for this now, or?
Well, you said that he'd trade, right?
He said potential for trade, yeah.
Potential for trade, yeah.
Well, I know that I don't carry a lot of extra magic items on my person, but we did find stuff in Slaver's Roost.
Oh, I guess
if you guys recall.
Yeah.
That I believe that Chester, come here.
You see a greenish portal open, and the chicken legs kind of pop out of the chest, and it just
Has-
kind of like rigidly walks up to you.
Orofarne and
Sits.
Jin I haven't seen this yet, right?
Oh
I don't
no,
think they
I'm
have.
like,
No.
whoa! Chester, my darling, come here at once.
I
Oh.
thought we put some of those in here.
I haven't touched that, so I couldn't say. I know I have this sword that we found.
Yeah, I've got the full notes of that if you want me to read them over again.
I was gonna say I haven't looked at Chester since I last knew that Gavik was rummaging around in there before he left. So I have no idea what is or is
What
not
he
in there other than
It's an
the
IOU.
note that he left in there.
Yeah, the notes.
It's just kind of sticky, you know. It says IOU magic items.
Now, Gavek took his share of the gold, which was 250 out of the 1,500 total gold. There were 4 potions of healing. There was a silver ring. There was a hand mirror that was encrusted in jewels. There was a magical scimitar. There was some quote-unquote very sturdy studded leather armor.
Yeah,
There
And didn't
was
Dara get that?
they did.
Has
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then there was a gold pin that looked like a scarab, and I think Clutian has that.
the lightning
Yeah.
scarab.
And I have the scimitar.
You have the scimitar, yeah. So there's 4 potions of healing that you guys dealt amongst yourselves, and 1,500 gold minus 250 that Jinhai or Orofarne also doesn't have. So I guess actually 1,000 gold between those of you that are here because I forget Jackson's old character's name. And Gavek each got 250. Finn and Gavek each got
Right.
250. So 1,000 gold
Yep.
between the rest of you.
So there's like 1,000 gold, a very expensive hand mirror, and some other random stuff.
I mean, this bag of holding, you could use it technically like a regular bag of holding. You would just have to careful of what you put in there.
You probably couldn't put weapons or ropes in it, I doubt. It's probably very particular what it allows. I imagine.
He also did have a regular bag of holding if you would prefer
Right.
that.
Right, and I will point that out too. Which is probably not near as expensive, but I haven't priced one of those, so.
Can we just say we asked about it?
If you'd like to, yeah.
What was that cost for that?
The bag of holding cost, not the bag of holding, is 1,250 gold pieces.
Significantly
Way better.
cheaper.
I have 82 gold left on me. And Coleman, if you will remind me, what was the item that Gavik had given Quill
It was the bone
as repayment?
It was the bone
It's the
finger pick that teaches you prestidigitation.
The one that
no.
guy that
the
that,
Gargoyle
like,
Shrimp.
So
the one
the
is
demon dude that's gonna collect our souls? Yeah, him.
I got
The vampire
my
tiefling
God.
guy that we
Will
met.
it teach it and consume it, or will it teach it and you can just sell it to somebody else?
If you attune to it, you can use it. Like if you wear it, you can cast
Ah.
prestidigitation, and if you take it off, you can't anymore.
I wonder how much it's worth, just out of curiosity.
Take it to the
Gavik would
convoy.
hate you.
So you know that valuable
Yeah,
gift I gave you? Yeah, I sold it for like 5 gold.
He said it was
Gavik ain't
repayment
here.
for something
The gold. Well,
It was
listen.
payment for the
Yeah, it was
gold that
that I let him
300
borrow.
gold.
yeah.
Yeah.
My share that
Maybe I'll
Quill wouldn't
triple
let
my
me spend,
investment.
so I had to borrow it from him. You know, it's tricksy, but whatever.
That's like
Anyway,
effectively asking
yeah.
somebody for $50, and then in payment they give you like one of those spider rings you get at an arcade.
Oh my
There
god.
you go.
Oh my.
well, I mean, the mirror is. I know it's not of any use to me. I suppose that maybe Orofarne will buy it. He seems to be pretty proud of his self. Maybe he wants something to look at himself in. And you want to buy a mirror, Orofarne?
buy a mirror from you. No, I'm okay, thank you.
That's fair.
Dara
Thought it was
was
worth a shot.
Dara was talking about wanting to go to the jewelers to see about getting a diamond. Maybe we could see if they'd be interested in it.
Oh, that's
Diamonds
a very
are
good
worth a lot.
Yeah.
And that might have higher priority potentially. What was your idea for the diamond, Dara?
I was gonna use it as it's my eye, but
Okay.
not something we have to look for right now.
Gotcha.
The last time we went to a shop, I looked for the diamond, and it's been half a year, so I figured I'd try again.
Yeah, I know where one is. On a mantle.
The very long curled golden hair human that runs the shop with like a reddish tint to her skin. She kind of like looks down at all of you and she's like, "Do you intend to buy something or just browsing?"
Yeah, do you have goggles?
We
Her
do need
eyes just
goggles.
like slowly look over to the costume section where like all the random crap is, and you can see some like desert explorer clothes, and she's like, "Yes, we do." Over there, she points. There's some costumes for the desert. The goggles are authentic, as are everything in this shop. We cater to specific clientele.
Fantastic. Well, I think that's where we'll start.
I
And then I'm
don't
going to
care
kind
what
of
you
try
think.
to usher everybody away from this person that's clearly judging us.
Good idea.
Yeah, moving closer to the desert kind of costumed area, there are, so like you can see there's like safari gear for the Bostonese wildlands. You can see there's desert gear for Venubia for the coastal desert. And in the desert gear, there's of course there are goggles that are pretty sturdy looking, seem to be the real deal, not just like cheap knockoff kind of things. There are bandanas, like for your face covering. There are full face like masks that you can wear. There seem to be a lot of pieces of armor that are made from this like chitinous material that has like little hooks and barbs kind of sticking out the edges that reminds you of an insect. Um, like there's entire breastplates that are made out of that material with like a long tan cloak over them, and then like goggles on the mannequin and like a face mask. It's all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. Orofarne is just gonna find himself a pair of goggles. Are there any with red lenses by chance?
She kind of like, if you say that out loud, she's like, "I can pop some in for you if you'd like."
So long as it's not any extra cost, but I don't want to overwork you. Yeah.
Her eyes just like slowly fall back to the counter, and she's like, "I mean, it would be a couple of silver, probably. Tinted glass is not
She's
always
Aubrey
the
Plaza in
easiest
my
to come
mind, by the way. She's totally Aubrey Plaza in my mind. She's just like,
Sure. Yeah. That's the what. Sure. Yeah. That's just fine. Yeah. I didn't think of the tinted glass part. Sure.
And then he'll also just find like a shamag somewhere that doesn't care the color, and he'll buy
Yeah.
the red goggles and a shamag.
Is there? I'm basically just trying to find like a mask, not like an actual like mask, but like a bandana along with some goggles.
Yeah, she takes a look at you and she like sees you struggling to find it, and she's like, "We have a plus size section in the back."
Oh my god.
Just straight face. She's like, yeah, just give me a second, I guess. Don't steal anything." Kind of like stares directly at Clutian.
Yeah.
You actually see Jin clench his fist a little bit.
She returns with like a
I kinda-
larger bandana and goggles. Go ahead, Chase.
Nothing.
Is there anything in here worth stealing? I mean, just while she's gone.
It's
My
everything
God.
in here.
No!
Everything in here seems to be immaculately made. Very, very good quality. The clothing itself is less so, but the costumes are very premium.
Don't let your inner Gavik shine.
Gavik was not a thief. Gavik was a dangerous, murderous man.
He was an
of honor.
opportunist.
He was an opportunist, and that was an opportunity.
He comes back with like a large shamar and goggles that have been like, you can see at some point whoever made these just like stitched on some extra leather on the back of them and made them even wider.
Like
She's like,
swimming goggles.
these should be good for you, I imagine. Your eye shape is relatively the same as, yeah, these will be fine. Yeah.
Does she
Passes
look
them
like
over.
she thinks that we stole things while she was gone?
Oh
She
my
looks very
God.
suspicious. Like, she looks just like very suspicious about this whole group. She doesn't like you. It's very easy to tell. But also you wonder if that's just her.
Perhaps you could help me with something a little bit more involved. I kind of pull at like the broken straps on the
The
jerkin.
size.
I need help.
Yeah, I can see that in more ways than 3. All right, what are you thinking?
Well, and I kind of just give her a brief rundown of what the character art looks like.
She just sighs again. She's like, that is incredibly complex.
I realize that
Okay,
it's probably not
yeah.
going to be able to be done
We
in
can
a
do
short
it.
order.
That's easy to do. I'm pretty good at what I do.
How much?
Kind of like flips her hair as she says it. She's like, for something like that, it's going to be a little more expensive than the normal run-of-the-mill things that we sell. It's custom ordered.
If there's any way
I
to
would
use
say,
this to
especially,
reduce the cost in materials. I'm referring to like the leather armor that he's already wearing.
she just kind of looks at it and she's like, look, it's a custom order. You want it done quick. It's going to cost you about 20 gold.
He's kind of taken aback a little about the price, not because 20 gold, but because it's less than he expected.
It's non-magical. It's not, the greatest. It's visually very nice. And then take some time. 20 gold feels like I'm overcharging, but her eyes just kind of like, again, just deadpan look at Clushin. She's like, looks back at you.
How about this? Goggles and some type of face covering for the lot and the armor. How much?
For the lot, is in everybody here or just you? Everybody here. 1, 2, 3. She like scratches her hair, moves it out of her face for a second. She's like, yeah. Her hand falls and a curl just falls over her eyes again. She's like, and I don't want to do the math. Let's just say 30 gold. Everybody's taken care of. Everybody's happy. Red tinted glasses are made. Oversized glasses are made. Turns to look at Clushin.
Clushin's just looking at this chitinous armor, trying to figure out what it is. I didn't want to interrupt anything, but I was curious about this. What is this stuff?
That's the chitinous shell of the Hosolar people.
Which
Gesundheit.
Clushin returns the blank stare that she's been giving him.
She like laughs for the first time and she's like, no, I'm just fucking with you. God, that'd be barbaric. No, they only do that in Venubia. This is just an imitation. It's just leather. Added a few frills and bits and bobs.
DM want to know what timeline would that be? Was that something they'd be able to get done in the next day, next week?
If you want me to rush it overnight, I guess I could do that. It's part of the cost anyway, so.
Same price?
Yeah.
How about this? 20 gold now, 10 gold tomorrow morning when we pick it up.
Like she sighs and her hair just kind of flies up a little bit and she's like, whatever. Starts writing in a book. She's like, takes the money, sets it down. Yeah. Come back around 8 a.m.
All right.
You guys are great.
Can I make an inside check on that?
Go for
And you
it.
know what? You are wonderful too. You just give off this a vibe. I love it.
9.
9. She looks up at you, Jinhai, and she like smiles for the first time, like genuinely, and she's like, "Thank you. Not many people say that. It's very kind. I meant it. You guys are great." Turns to look at Clution.
She's going to be like, "You've been more than helpful." And then he's
Turns
going
to
to
look
pull his
at,
cloak aside a little bit so she can see he hasn't stole anything. And he's going to bow, and she's going to see that he's partly covered in bugs.
She like
You don't
looks
have
up at
anything.
you. She like looks up at you, and like for a moment her eyes narrow, and then she sees the bugs, and she's like, "No, that's fucking cool. I've changed my mind. You're really neat. I like you.
God.
Yeah, come back anytime.
The
Bugs
fuck?
are sick, dude. What kind of bugs are
Thanks.
those?
All kinds. They're from where I
Dude.
grew up.
Wow, that's mind blowing. I can't even right now. Wow. What
He
about
has a girlfriend.
You? Oh, well, it's okay. I'm not looking for anything. She like rubs her hand through it. She's like, I'm not looking for anything serious anyway.
Okay.
Just,
Shit's going to be like, I think I have to go.
she looks at Dara and she's like, "Can I get anything for you? Do you want anything?
No.
You no, okay." And looks at Quill. What about you?
Maybe like a bandana or something. I don't like for my feathers to get, messed up by the sand and all that. Maybe I can tie one up on the around my head or something. That'd be kind of cool.
Would
He
that be any of
nods.
the stuff I asked for?
Yeah, it'd be included.
Okay.
She nods and turns to Clution. She's like, "Could you imagine like having feathers and like sand getting stuck in them, and you get so weighed down you can't even fly?"
Can I
That's
make
smart. That's a smart idea from your Garuda friend over here. You need
Can I
to
make-
cover those feathers.
Glitch's like half started walking away. He just turns around. He's like, "What?"
How old is this girl?
She looks like she's like 30. What do you
Talk
want
like
to
that, and
do?
she's 30.
I just want to
What-
make an insight check to see if this chick is high on something or something.
Sure, go for it. Yeah.
As he rubs
Ma'am?
his nose through the camera like he's snorting coke or something.
11. 11.
11. She seems oddly enough sound and there. She just seems like she doesn't really care.
She doesn't care.
And
She's
B,
uninterested.
Yeah, she's just bored. You
You
get
severely-
She's in NPC mode.
you just get the impression that like so many strange, colorful people come into this shop, like very extra people to get all their extra costumes, that she
Okay.
just doesn't fucking care anymore.
So we're more mundane than she would normally see.
Much more mundane, and so she's just kind of like, these guys don't have a lot of money. They're not going to be buying all the expensive costumes, like whatever.
She's like the kind of person that somebody comes in and she's like, "Wow, you're going to a costume party? That's so cool."
It's so unique.
I just had a question about my jacket here that
Yes.
I'm wearing. This black leather jacket. As you can see, I had to rip off a sleeve when I
Mm.
found it, since
I
I'm
can see
missing this
that,
arm
yeah.
here, and I was thinking maybe you could sew it up as if it were like a short sleeve. That way I could
Sure,
roll it.
Yeah, I could.
That would
yeah.
be cool.
It'd take me a couple minutes. It'd be really easy to do. Yeah, you can do that. Just throw it in. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. What do you think about bushes?
Well, you know, in what context? Like think about thematically, like bushes as a whole.
I want to stop
Vegetation.
this.
How do I put this?
I don't.
Don't worry about it. I know you're cool enough to whatever I ask, it's going to be awesome. So I will leave it up to mystery.
I puked in a bush once.
See? Why would you do it in a
This-
bathroom?
Why would you?
Right?
No, like I don't want to be sitting in some kind of outhouse or chamber pot puking. That's fucking gross.
Right?
Let's get a good
It's all
bush.
disgusting.
Just let it loose, man.
I've tried.
Go to a rager.
Yeah.
One of
I've
those
tried
costume
before, I just
parties,
can't.
you know.
I can't do it.
I'm right there with you, buddy.
He's not talking about puking in a bush.
Neither am I.
That's my girl.
She like winks at you.
Shit.
Oh my god! What the fuck?
About face.
She's bored.
Lucian turns around and he goes, he's only 8.
God.
He's just gonna go
Kind of
along
like
with this
puckers
point.
her lips and
Yeah,
she's nodding.
I'm a
She's like,
child. I'm like
Hmm.
this close to being a baby as he
Pretty
puts his-
sure your people reach maturity at like 2 or 3, but you know, whatever you tell yourself at night.
just turns his head like with his beak wide open.
Just like,
just looking at
honestly,
you
I
guys
thought you
wide-eyed.
must be an adult, judging by your plumage and your coloration. But if you're a child, that's fine. We may throw in a kid's fee actually for sewing up that jacket now. Make it 31 gold.
Instead of 30?
Yeah.
Don't sweat it, I'll cover it. Lucian like flicks her a gold coin. And then he's like, I think we need to go, like for real though.
Totally catches it. Just
I
straight
think
out
she
here.
needs
She's
to
like,
just,
slow. Just,
Come with us to Venubia.
No.
This is all the validation I needed in one day.
I would really like to get my hands on some of that Kosalaric armor.
He picked him
The
up.
real
and
kind.
He's walking away with Quill. He's got his head and his body. Orphane picks him up and he's walking out.
Guys, why can't we have another one? Can we keep it?
Before we walk out the door, I just say, if we find some of the chitin, we'll make sure to bring it back.
pick it.
Yeah, I would say that's a great idea, but it's kind of illegal here anyway. Again, it's made from people. So
It's
as cool as it
fine,
is.
Not take.
Well, same deal. If you get caught in inspection or, it's just
Yeah,
not
but-
worth it.
Yeah, but laws are
Oh,
like
shit.
arbitrary and just made up, so you don't do fun stuff, right?
That's so true. Laws are just written. Look, all I have to say about this is that the people in power define what justice means, and it changes from one ruler to another, and it is arbitrary. Let me just tell you that.
I both love and hate this
Outside.
character.
From outside, Orofarne goes, "You got that goddamn right."
We'll,
See
we'll
you-
keep that. We'll keep that in mind and see what we see.
See you tomorrow, handsome. And she like winks at Quilly.
Call
STL,
me! STL, give her an earring.
I think it's time to use that portal.
Shut up. Shut up.
Use the portal to get out.
You see, as you start walking out of the shop, you see Chester just like hopping along on his chicken legs, and she's like, if you want to sell your dog, I'll totally buy it.
Chester, you can go away now.
No. I mean, he needs to come with us, though.
Well, we can't trick
we
him
can
because
just-
he's just
we can
going to come
just
right
summon
back
him
when
again.
we say Chester.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
You exit the shop.
Okay, yeah, we're all outside now, right?
Did Chester disappear?
wait,
Did you send him away?
Yeah.
I said it, but I didn't summon him.
Yeah, we'll send him away. I'm sending him away. If I have to do it, then yeah,
No,
Chester,
you don't have to do it.
be gone.
As STL says it, the portal opens and Chester kind of like looks up at you, and like it's strange because he doesn't have eyes, but like he looks up at you and his lid just kind of opens a little bit as he leans back, and you see him just kind of like look down and just slowly step through the portal.
You did good, buddy.
My liege. Like
You see him like hop back real quick. And he's like bouncing up and down at you, Clution, and then he hops back in the portal.
So, are we gonna sell the mirror?
I guess first point in order is try to sell the mirror. The mirror wasn't magical, correct? It was just very fancy, right?
It's just a very fancy gem inlaid mirror. Also, of note, just to throw you all a significant bone here, because none of you have said this or tried this. As Chester had hopped back out and looked at Clution and started bouncing up and down, you can see, like, inside of him, you can see some of the items that are there, but they're too big to fit inside of him, some of them.
Well, we got together that much.
So, I mean,
Just sell
interdimensional.
those items and then put the items in Chester that we need to really store, like salted beef, cabbages,
This woman.
everything to make our second breakfast.
Did you say this woman?
He did. He did.
Chester is only for treasures, Marshall.
He's a
So
treasurer.
we need the goblin. We need the
He's
goblin.
a
in the
treasure
family.
goblin.
He's a honey goblin.
He's a honey goblin. Yeah. He's
Oh,
goblin honeys.
I mean, yeah, we can come back around to the mirror thing, but
You
Jin
can
Hai,
make-
was she weird about your goggles too, or was that like just the
She
the cliche
was!
the whole time?
She-
Okay.
Dude, fucking bitch. Yeah. I couldn't stand
I
it.
would
Don't you
say
talk about
that.
her like that.
I think she's just misunderstood.
Alright, the mirror! Are we selling the
Dragging
mirror?
Quill off and he's like, I love her.
Can we
Oh my
expedite
God.
this whole mirror process?
Quill, you're gonna meet a lot of people in your life that you think you love, man, and you know some of them
Yeah,
just aren't gonna be who you think.
I wouldn't know the ins and outs of relationships. I didn't kill my own mother. I'm just a child.
Hello.
He
Not
just stares
emotionally
blankly.
Quill,
Oh, no.
you freed your mother.
I've accepted the fact that I incidentally killed her, but by proxy freed her. But of course, I didn't murder my own mother. That's not how I see it anymore.
What the fuck?
That's
talk
right, or
about it over
Farnay doesn't
now.
know.
Oh my.
What?
God damn
What
it.
happened?
Can we expedite the whole
Yeah. No,
mirror
what do you
thing?
want to do?
Yes,
Just talk
yeah.
it.
You want to sell the mirror to the Benign
'Cause
Touch?
Yeah,
Crafters
because
Guild?
there's a branch here, and I need to up my membership
You
because
can-
I'm sure
you
I'm a
can-
couple months behind.
Yep, you can pay your membership off. You can sell the mirror. The mirror is priced at
Big money, no
2,200
whammies.
gold.
2,200.
200?
Mhm. It's got a lot of gems in it.
Holy shit.
Woohoo!
That's why I said
Where'd
we
we
need a
find that
Hawkwood.
again?
That's
Hmm?
that's
the
very-
room.
Technically, there were two of them.
Yeah, that was our
I think
roost money
Gavin
right
kept one,
there.
though.
I believe,
did.
yeah,
He did.
because it definitely wasn't magical. So I mean,
Yeah, he didn't say anything. You know.
Hey, I've got a question. And if we can possibly expedite this, it doesn't matter to me whether or not, but the sword,
Hmm.
one of the
Well-
flaming swords.
we could go back to Mr.
You have both, by the
Minotaur.
way.
I do.
Remember, Gavet gifted you that. Yep.
I forgot that he gifted me the other one, the twin. So it makes me wonder what they're both worth each. And if we could even use them.
And what they are.
That's
They're technically
something we
great
can
sword,
ask.
right?
Together,
Alright.
yes. They
They're
are a
two
great
long
sword.
swords
Yep.
that come to a great sword.
If you wanted to sell them, you could price them at your friendly Minotaur friend guy.
Or we can
Um,
ask him to see if he can, like, we can reawaken its magic, potentially.
Yeah, I'd use the shit out of that if I could.
You use your fists mostly, don't you, Quill?
He'll get into the 5e mechanics of it and be like, well, you know, sometimes I'll use the first attack action for a great sword or a quarterstaff hit, and then my bonus action, of course, flurry of blows to put 2 more unarmed strikes on top. You know, it's simple stuff.
Can you wield a great sword?
And then he gets into 5e mechanics again, and he's like, well, going into the monk proficiencies, there's actually an alternative feature that came out in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything that allows monks to be proficient with a particular type of weapon.
Welcome to the new segment of the podcast, Quill Splaining.
but with a great sword, don't you have to have? You can only be wielded with strength, not dex.
Yeah, it is a strength weapon. It's not a finesse weapon. That's the only tough.
Got you there.
The Emerald Phoenix contests.
We don't know.
Phoenix
his new strength
wrong.
score. Yeah.
Price is wrong.
Okay, so pricing the twin swords that can form the great sword would net you a pretty hefty sum of, if I had to guess, which I don't have to.
Have they
But
got
I
any other
can.
enchantments about them, or are they just
Swords?
Yeah, that's what I'm really curious about, is if they can do anything
Are
cool.
one of them identified? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I can spend some time and identify them if we so wish.
I mean, we're shopping all day, so I mean, may as well. You saved yourself 5 hours on that other spell.
Say-
It's true.
Say we hit lunch, I identify the thing while eating the sandwich.
We're at a fucking like an Olive Garden or something in this area, and he's sitting there identifying a fucking greatsword.
I've
like
got
an
the
outdoor
throw and
terrace.
the feathers set out, and I got a sandwich in the other hand.
Estiel gets mustard on one of them, and he's like, oh, crap. He has to wipe it off.
Okay.
Start
Keep the
over.
breadsticks coming. Keep the breadsticks.
Each of them is a long sword +1 that also deals 2d6 fire damage.
those are both
On
flame
top of the
tongues?
normal longsword damage?
Mm-hmm.
So it's 2d6 plus the d whatever. 8.
1d8 +1.
Yeah, that's
And it's a
that's
+1.
good.
That's mecha dope.
Wow.
Good.
And I
And
have access to
together?
both of them.
But you also get the sense that this item
Cursed.
has some kind of presence within it.
That was my next question.
Yes.
I can't outright say that it's cursed because Identify does not reveal curses, but you detect some sort of sentience within the weapon. That seems to get stronger as they are interlocked together to form the greatsword.
And that leads me to the next question. How much are they worth together and or separate?
1 second.
That's right.
Sorry, I'm making you do all the homework in the world.
No, you're good. I had most of this typed out and ready. I just had to find
And
it.
And then computer crash.
Yeah. But then, looking through my actual session notes, trying to find where I had those statted out.
While you're digging for that, I'll just throw this in there. I identify the scimitar too.
The what?
The scimitar. The
Oh.
Just
Right.
throw that in there since you're already looking at them.
Right. Hold on, let me pull that up.
You gotta love shopping sessions. They're
Yeah.
different, but they're fun.
We've
The
struggled.
other thing we may want to
swords.
consider with the swords is that the guy we took him off of was bad news. And if
Mhm.
they
makes
seem
sense.
to have some level of sentience, do we really want to let them fall into somebody else's hands?
Right.
So I don't mean to be cheeky,
Mm-hmm.
but he had mentioned that they grow stronger as they're together. And I thought maybe just selling one and I hold on to the other, and they
well,
will never come back into contact again.
I use sword now too. Because shadow magic.
I mean, you could keep it. I'm not going to use the other one.
I mean, as long as we know it's not going to possess us or something. Metagaming.
Well, that might be a problem for you. I have ways out of that as the monkish stuff.
I mean, there's been enough things occupy my soul. I'm good.
Fair enough. But yeah, what do we think about just selling the other one? And then the twin will be in my possession. And the only way it can come back together is someone either takes it from me or forcibly put them together on my person. But I don't know.
I don't want to get into this, being as that I'm new here. But if we need the money, absolutely. But I mean, I have this little short sword here that, aside from my great sword, is just they're mundane. I mean, I would much like a magical longsword, but again,
See, we can be sword brothers.
I think that we could possibly even bond over it. I feel like we might need some bonding, something to bond over. Because
Insight.
yeah, go ahead.
Go for it.
While he's rolling that, what ping do I get from that scimitar?
The scimitar is a sword of vengeance.
16.
He was
What-
genuinely reaching out and saying, maybe we could bond over this. Unless STL wants it, because this is a dope sword and STL doesn't have a sword.
Well, yeah, I don't have a sword at all because the one he's been summoning is just literally nothing.
The shadow sword, yeah.
I will
Yeah.
send you the sword of vengeance, Chase. Right now.
So
it's there.
does he ascertain everything of it?
He ascertains the description that is sent to you.
Okay, and you send that on Messenger.
Yep. As to the price of the twin longsword fireboys that form the greatsword, you're looking at a very cool 5,000 gold.
Oh.
For both of them, right?
Yep, for the pair.
Now,
Separately,
trying
you're
to
looking at
sell it.
maybe 1,600 gold each.
Ooh, yeah, fuck that. Let's keep them. Because we don't want to sell them both to somebody and then, like, mess up the world in some way.
Create another Archon. Incident.
Right. It's one thing to write things into the sand to, you know,
Influence.
try to help some religious folks and their decisions amongst their deity. But it's an entirely other thing to sell a sword to somebody who might give it to another who would be malevolent with their use.
I'll say that SDL was first, talking about that sword, and then once he figures out what the sword of vengeance was, like he went slackjaw.
You guys are just kind of sitting, eating lunch with swords all on the table and shit. You
Pretty
see a lavender-skinned Mazoku walking, who Jinhai and Kushin recognize. And she's no longer wearing her traveling clothes, but is instead wearing like day clothes in the city. She's lavender skinned with golden eyes and kind of dark curly brown hair and horns that form like a half circle down her face. They've got some like jewelry of crescent moons and silver kind of spread throughout the horns. She looks very nice. She like sees you and she gives you guys a wave. She's like, "Hey, I remember you guys."
I'd like to think this is when he identified it and went slackjaw.
She's like, "Is your friend okay here?" She's like waving her hand in front of his face.
Oh yeah, sorry. Hello.
This is I don't think I ever got your
I think
name.
we got our name. No.
Sorry. My name is Charlia.
Charlotte. We met her on ferry trip down here.
That's spelled with a C or an S.
That is SHARLIAH.
Spelled it right
I was
No, I
supposed to
didn't.
use the C.
for once.
Charlia. She's like, "Oh, those are some very wicked-looking swords you've got there. You're going to be using those?" And she like looks at Jinhai and she says, "You're going to be using those in the Baroku?"
Potentially. 100% sure yet. I still really like my club.
Yeah. Wow. Big swords, big creatures. What is this beauty? And she's kind of like looking down at the scimitar as well, and she's like, This is nice."
this, I'll be honest, I had the wrong impression when I first picked up this sword.
Hmm. Well, you know what they say about first impressions. So like looks at you. She's like, they don't always take. They don't always last. No.
You have to forgive me. I grew up in the far north.
Sorry, I forget. Idioms of my home are far different than others.
Hmm.
She kind of like looks down.
My name's STL. Pleasure.
Charlia, pleasure to meet you, STL. I've met Klushin and Jinhai already. Are these the rest of your friends that you're going to the tournament with?
Yeah, they definitely are. Everyone, this is as Jinhai said, Charlie, we met her on the boat. She helped us with the list. She was instrumental in the list of goods that we needed, and in that, we didn't have anything to write with, and also she was valuable input.
Hey, I had
and
chalk.
she
Writing.
has
Charcoal is an instrument, so technically I was instrumental.
yep.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
very hopeful. Yeah.
And she has some experience with the desert and where we're going.
As Klushin's saying that, like as she says, she like catches your eye for a moment, or a Farne. She like does a double take. She's like, you're interesting. There aren't many of us that are around these parts. It's nice to meet you. What is your name?
My lady, my name is Orofane. It's a pleasure.
Farne. It's a beautiful name.
Thank you. As yours as well. Thank you.
Turns to look at Dara and Quill and says, and you are indeed a very rare creature yourself, Metal One.
I wanted to do a insight check on her,
You
but
can, yeah.
I don't know what I'm looking for, but anything maybe that's on her that I would notice her history or background. But I'll just answer it yes. There's not many of us. My name is Dara. And then I just do that check, I guess.
Sure, I'll say make a perception check.
Nice. 13. I don't know why I have a +8
13.
and I only get 5s.
Glancing over her, like I said, she's in her day clothes, kind of like her evening, kind of going out on the town clothes. And she's, you catch the jewelry in her horns, the silver crescent moon and stars. And that gives you a hint of something that you've heard before. One of the hells, Barquinos to be exact, was once known as Barquinos is Barquinos.
Okay, I had it right.
Barquinos was once known as a place of reprieve where souls in the Alathe originally would, when they hit that layer, basically their memories would rise and they would sit in peace and reflect amidst this beautiful starry world around them. And now it is quite different, being completely boxed in. You can't see the sky. It's filled with haze and smoke that basically has turned into a gambler's den where you gamble your memories away and slowly lose who you are.
Oh my god.
And looking at the pattern of the stars and the moon on her jewelry, it's pretty consistent with images you've seen of Barquinos and descriptions that you've read of what the symbology would be there.
I don't want to ask her that question when I first meet her. I'll just keep that to myself for now.
Okay.
What does she look like in the face? Like how tall is she? Like, do we have a physical description?
Yeah, no, she is roughly 5'9". Her face is slender and kind of chiseled, like very sharp features. She's fairly attractive, I guess. like I said, she's got lavender skin, golden eyes, curly brown hair, like dark brown hair, and the horns that curl around her head.
Like Orofarnes.
Sort of. Hers kind of start on the sides above the ear, rise up, form a half circle, and kind of point down toward her jaw.
Like a ram, in a sense.
Yeah, like a short.
In a sense, yeah.
And
yeah.
what was she wearing?
She's wearing like evening clothes right now, like going on the town at night.
You say
So
evening.
basically, evening. Like you're going out. You're not dressed fancy, but you're dressed better than normal. So she's got this like nice, cool, dark blue sleeveless dress on. It's like it's got a high collar with silver around the hem. It's got this the short sleeves stop right at the shoulder pretty much. It's got silver hem along the side. Curves down, accentuating her curves, whatever. And the dress goes down to about mid-calf. And then she has some nice black sandals on.
And we look like shit. Okay. So, and that's where I'm not going to say anything more. Okay.
Okay. Basically, think
you.
of Ningguang.
Thank
Oh
you.
my
Yes.
goodness.
Oh, yes. Oh, my God.
There you go.
Geo, mommy.
And lastly,
oh, my God, I said
she
that on the
turns
screen.
to Quill and she says, I'm seeing a Garuda in Walaka is a welcome change, honestly. It's been a while since we've seen Garuda here.
Well, maybe you'll see many more in the future. We've recently, I bring good news that Slaver's Roost has been taken down, and we've changed the name to the Eerie for those who do not partake in slavery anymore. It's a new Garuda civilization led by my father. So maybe you'll see more Garuda around here sometime soon.
Her eyes kind of widen, and she's like a smile creeps on her face, and she's like, "That is wonderful. Your father, you say? You did you lot help with that?"
We were there not but a few days ago.
Not
We
me,
just
though.
finished.
Wow, that is impressive. Wow, you all, well, you were going to the Brokamuda. From what I heard from your friends, do you have a name for yourselves?
Have you heard of the Emerald Order?
She kind of does that thing where she's like looking up. She's like, no. I can't say I have. But again, I've been in Venubia for the last few months, so...
Orofarne turns kind of back to the rest of them and says,
You guys really need to work on your brand exposure, your PR. I mean, we need people to be able to know and sing your name from the heavens. In every bar, I want to hear a song about the Emerald Order. You guys really need to work on that. I'll work on
You
that.
started with
Okay, we'll get something
you
going
started with
there.
you guys and you ended with we. So is this a you guys or is this a we?
Well, it was a you guys, and now it's a we. What about it?
All right. So to make sure that if you're with us, you're with us. You know.
I just want
Yeah,
to preface by saying I totally agree with your sentiment. But you'll catch on. It'll be a wee slip it out of your mouth real soon.
Fair
Just
enough. Good.
fight with us in Venubia, and I tell you what, you are officially a member of the Emerald Order.
How is she reacting to that conversation?
She's loving it. Like, she's just smiling. She's beaming. She's really just kind of happy to be around people that have traveled and have done things and aren't, going to talk to the lore keeper 20 times a day to answer all of their problems. People who actually take their fate into their own hands. She seems really interested in all of you and your conversation.
Well, I suppose it's rude of us to just talk amongst ourselves with the guest around, anyways. But are you heading out to meet somebody, or are you?
She rubs the back of her neck for a moment, and she's like, no, I just thought I'd go to this place that I've heard a lot about and have a drink or two. I've heard the drinks there are very calming, and honestly, with everything on my mind lately, it would be very good to just unwind a bit.
I probably know what place you're speaking of.
Turns to look at you. She's like, it's a fairly good up and coming place from the reviews that I've heard. The Lich on Ice, yeah.
I've been there.
Huh. Well, tell me, give me your review, STL. How was it? What would you give it? 5 out of 7.
To take your own words, first impressions, and all that.
She nods. Guess I got to see it for myself.
We have a couple things we need to finish, but we're actually heading there ourselves shortly.
Well, maybe I'll see you there then. I'm gonna go grab a bite to eat and head over. So, well, I don't want to take your time. It's been really nice talking with you guys. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to speak with me.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, maybe we'll see each other later.
It's been a pleasure to meet you, Sherlaya.
Kind of does like a bow and like a slight curtsy, kind of awkward looking. Walks off.
I was so tempted to do the hood tuck again, the same cowboy line thing again.
So, Quill, what are you saying?
So, just to break the fourth wall for a second, you said we sold the
Mirror.
mirror for
Mirror.
2,200, correct? Okay.
Yes.
Do we
So that's
want to write that down somewhere? Coleman, you writing that down?
Group
Yeah.
loot, bitches.
Yeah.
Okay.
Coleman's like-
Since you're the keeper of Chester,
Coleman's looking at us like, why did you assume I had done it?
Dude, God, I could
because
have
I
done
said
it.
that, I said that, and he immediately went to write something. So, sorry if I
That's
assumed
fine.
wrong.
Oh my goodness.
I don't care. That's
Um,
fine. I'll keep track.
If we're not gonna go get a bag, I at least want to go over there and let the poor guy know.
Well,
Easy
we
to
can't.
do.
I mean, we could easily. Do we want a regular bag of holding? We can definitely buy a regular one.
Do we have much need for a regular one with Chester?
We've
Are
we've
we
done this one without it.
unsure? Are we unsure of Chester's allegiances?
You just feel this.
Or-
All of you feel this tiny pang of sadness as you say that out loud.
Because I mean, I trust Chester.
Why would you not trust the magic box? It seems very loyal.
It's a chest with legs.
Yeah.
Chicken legs.
Thank
I've
you.
never met a chest with legs that proved I shouldn't trust it.
I have.
That being said,
once.
Chester's the only chest with legs I've ever met.
Well,
I
sure.
did once underneath of an island, and it tried to eat us.
Oh.
It's one for
Mhm.
one. Not very
For
good
one.
odds.
Anyway, we just say we go and tell them that we're not getting that, and just for his troubles, I put like a gold on the countertop.
Sure. He thanks you for letting him know and begins closing up shop and getting ready to go home.
He doesn't have any just like regular magic short swords, does he?
Oh, he's got all kinds of shit, yeah.
We didn't ask about the rest of the stuff.
Well, I haven't been here.
He has a short sword +2. He has a short sword +1. He has arrows +2.
You turn him into wallowing.
Down boy, down boy.
I mean, my bow makes its own arrows, but if I can get plus to hit,
He has an ivory goat figurine of wondrous power. He has a bullseye lantern, oil of sharpness, plate armor of lightning resistance, potion of resistance to cold, a trident, a vicious halberd, wings of flying, and a vorpal scimitar.
Wings of flying.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
A
Like,
vorpal
just-
scimitar. Lordy.
I am curious.
It's a
about
generated magic list for a shop. Okay?
Seriously? Wow.
I'm curious about this Vorpal scimitar. I don't even know if I can wield that.
Very expensive. Let me just start there.
It's a legendary item.
9,000
Yeah,
gold.
that's what I figured.
And that's
Yeah,
at a
That's
62%
amazing.
markdown.
Oh, okay, that's a lot better. Okay.
Yeah,
I
it's
was
like
like, wait a second.
actually have that
26,000 at normal.
How much would he like for the short sword +2, and how much would he like for the arrows?
The short
Plus
sword
one.
+2, he will part with for, it looks like, using the same discount I was using before, he will part with a short sword +2 for 629 gold.
Not near as bad as I thought it would be.
I
What
expect
about
that
the
from the
plus
thousands.
one? I'm trying to figure out
Plus
if we have
one
40
would
so
be
We've got
drop
we've
from
got
212.
212 for the plus one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've got
Yeah.
what 3,300 party funds right now.
The arrows
no.
are 40 each.
40 each.
They're +2.
Hey, I'm not
so.
3,200.
as worried
Do
about
it.
that.
Don't do it.
Clushin's like, so
I'm just no. I have
like
because I had money.
3,200 divided by 40. He's like, I could get 80 arrows.
This isn't Ark, man. We can't just
No.
be like out here wasting resources. Don't do
No, I-
it.
You waste
No, I
resources
know,
in
but
Ark?
but I can't hit with my
Don't
melee
it.
weapons, and I need to hit with them to be able to get away most of the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the only
You-
reason why I'm at all
you-
concerned with it. And I
Listen,
have money aside from the
what's
money that's
the-
in the chest.
If there is something that you specifically want to search for, write it down in the next week,
Okay.
and we can do an off-screen thing where we do some shopping specifically for things that you want.
Sure, yeah.
But we can do it in the group chat or whatever, just a quick like boom boom boom.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good idea.
I think this is a good place to end for the night. You're about to go to the Lich on Ice for that side piece, and then the next day picking up your clothing, your stitched up leather jerkin, your new armor, and paying the last 11 gold.
And we're not
Yeah.
putting that poor woman in Chester.
No,
I
that
would like,
be
My God.
just in case I
That's
forget, I would
kidnapping.
like to experiment with Chester and put like a cold drink in it
you should
tonight
probably experiment with Chester.
Not
and see
that
if
way.
it's still cold in the
Not in a bad way, just in a good way of just testing out what he can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a couple of question marks I got about all that too.
He's not like other chests of holding.
He's risky.
He's a chest with legs.
The only
So-
chest with legs is Raiden.
You want
Oh
to sign
my
us
God.
out there, Marshall?
I was waiting on something like that. Yeah, no, thank you guys for listening to Chronicles of Genesi, Curse of the Green Sea. We love you. We appreciate you. You guys are great. If you want to support us or consider supporting us, we have a Patreon, which is at Chronicles of Genesi. So patreon.com/Chronicles of Genesi. $5 tier gets you access to the bonus podcast. The $10 tier gets you access to the bonus content episodes, of which December 29th, we released the Christmas one. So check that out. Otherwise, follow us on social media. Share the podcast with your friends if you like it. It's the best way to grow a podcast, is organically. Thank you for all your support.